You didn't lose your manhood because of age. You lost it because no one told you the truth. Every morning you wake up soft. It's not a body problem, it's a blood flow warning. And you've been ignoring it for years. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal a 3-minute cold trick that could bring back the power you thought was gone forever. No pills. No shame, just truth. Smash like if you're tired of the silence. Subscribe because they won't say this, but I will. You wake up soft. You try not to think about it. You stand in the bathroom, look at your reflection, and tell yourself it's just age. But deep down, you know something's changed. You don't feel like you used to. Not in your body. Not in your mind, not in your confidence. You start avoiding intimacy, not because you want to, but because something feels off. The desire might still be there, but your body isn't responding the way it used to. And that kills something inside you. But here's what no one tells you, it's not your age. It's your blood flow. Your body runs on nitric oxide, a gas that tells your blood vessels to open. At 25, your body made plenty. At 60, it barely makes enough to keep the engine running. That loss of nitric oxide soundly tightens your arteries. Not just in your heart, but everywhere. Including the parts you stop talking about, and it doesn't happen overnight. First, you stop waking up hard. Then you stop getting hard at all. Then you stop trying. It's called endothelial dysfunction when the lining of your blood vessels stop expanding the way they should. Why does it happen? Because you've been sitting too long, sleeping too little, carrying too much stress, taking medications that make your blood flow worse, eating foods that clog your pipes. It's a slow, silent shutdown. And most men never talk about it. Some are too proud, others too ashamed. And many never realize there's a fix. But let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you felt proud of the man in the mirror? When was the last time you rolled over in bed, reached for your partner, and felt confident you could finish what you started? When was the last time you felt like you? Now imagine this. What if there was a way to change that? Not with pills, not with surgery, but with something already inside you. What if the switch to unlock your blood flow wasn't in a prescription, but in your own skin? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a method that flips that switch. It's free. It's fast. It's real. And it's been hiding in plain sight your entire life. Before we get there, take a moment. Think of the version of yourself you miss. He's still in there, waiting, watching, and if you're still here, he's ready to rise. Let's bring him back. They used to do it before every battle. Strip down. Stand in freezing water. Grit their teeth and feel their pulse return stronger. Ancient warriors believed the cold unlocked something primal, something buried deep in the male body. Something modern science is just beginning to understand. And now Navy SEALs do the same. They step into the ice not for pain, but for power. What if I told you the same ritual could bring your blood flow back? The kind you haven't felt in years, not with a pill, not with surgery, but with something that takes 3 minutes and no prescription. It's called cold exposure. And it's changing lives. Here's how it works. When your body's exposed to cold, especially on your thighs, pelvis, or lower abdomen, your blood vessels tighten. That's the body's defense mechanism. It's called vasoconstriction. But the magic doesn't happen during the cold. It happens after. When you step out of the cold, your body rebounds. Hard, your blood vessels open wide. It's called vasodilation. And it means blood rushes back in with more force, more volume, and more oxygen than before. That's the switch. That's what most men are missing. You don't need to freeze your whole body. Just focus the cold where it counts. A 30 to 60 second cold shower on your thighs and lower abdomen is enough to kickstart the reaction. If that's too intense, try a sitz bath, just enough cool water to cover your hips. It may be uncomfortable at first. You'll want to jump out. But stay, breathe, let it happen. Because what happens next is worth it. You'll feel a flush, warmth returning to the surface. That's blood flow, real natural powerful circulation. Not the kind you borrow from a bottle. The kind your body was built to create on its own. And here's what's wild. Men report feeling changes after just a few days, not weeks. Not months, days. Morning wood returns, sensation sharpens. Confidence rises, still not sure? Think about this. When was the last time you felt completely in control of your body? When was the last time you did something hard and knew it was making you stronger? That's what this is. A test, a ritual, a return to yourself. Try it for 1 week, every morning or night. 3 minutes. No cost, no pills, no lies. And if by day 5 you notice something waking up down there, don't be surprised. Comment how many seconds you lasted on day 1. Someone else will beat you. But next week you might beat them. That's how we rise. Together, 1 breath, 1 man, 1 cold step at a time. Picture your blood vessels like flexible tubes. When you were 25, those tubes expanded effortlessly. Blood flowed like a river after rain. That's why you woke up hard. Why intimacy was effortless. Why you felt alive. But as you age, those tubes stiffen, the flow slows. The river turns into a trickle. And the worst part? It doesn't happen overnight. It happens so slowly you barely notice, until one day you realize you haven't felt truly on in years, but the body has a secret code, a built-in repair system. You just have to speak its language, and that language is cold. Here's how it works. When your skin is hit with cold, real cold, your blood vessels instantly constrict. That's your body protecting vital organs. It tightens the pipes. That's vasoconstriction. Then the moment the cold is gone, your body responds with a surge. The vessels open wide. Blood comes rushing in, flushing out stiffness and flooding your tissues with oxygen and nutrients. That's vasodilation. And it's powerful because when blood flow improves, everything changes. Erections become firmer, sensitivity returns. Even confidence starts to rebuild itself from the inside. But it doesn't stop there. Cold exposure also triggers nitric oxide, the key molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. Without nitric oxide, there is no erection. And by the time you hit 60, your nitric oxide levels are nearly half of what they were in your 20s. Cold brings it back. In fact, researchers from a European study found that just 1 week of cold therapy improved blood pressure regulation and vascular flexibility in men over 60. That means their arteries worked better with no pills. No side effects, just cold and recovery. And here's the part no one talks about. Testosterone. Your brain is watching everything you do. When you avoid discomfort, it dials testosterone down. But when you face challenge like a burst of cold water, it releases more. It's your body's way of saying, this man is still in the fight. Now think about your own life. When was the last time you pushed through something uncomfortable just to come out stronger? When was the last time you felt like your body respected you? That's what this ritual gives you. A way back to strength. Not just in performance, but in mindset. And the best part? It costs nothing. No prescriptions, no appointments. Just you, a faucet, and the decision to reclaim what's yours. Try it tonight. Then again tomorrow. See how long you last. Then see what wakes up next. And if you feel something shift even slightly, you'll know this wasn't just a trick. It was a science your body had been waiting for. Dennis is 64, lives alone in a small house outside Phoenix. Retired early, divorced, 2 grown kids who barely call. Most days, he reads the paper, walks the dog, and watches the same shows on repeat. And every morning, he wakes up soft, not just physically, emotionally. Something inside him feels off, unused, forgotten. He didn't always feel this way. Dennis used to be electric. At 45, he says he felt like a bull, strong, confident, in control. But slowly, life got quieter. His energy dropped. His confidence faded. And intimacy, what used to be easy, turned into silence. He stopped trying. And in his mind, that part of life was over. Until one day, scrolling YouTube late at night, he found a video. A strange video. A guy talking about cold water, blood flow, and nitric oxide. Something clicked. Not the science, not the promise, just the idea that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't broken. Just blocked out. The next morning, Dennis stood in the shower, heart pounding. He turned the handle to cold and stared at the stream. He'd lived a whole life and fought through worse. He could do 30 seconds of cold. So he stepped in, his breath caught, his hands clenched. It felt like stepping into ice, but he counted. 1, 2, 3. 30 seconds later, he stepped out and wrapped a towel around his legs. They tingled. He felt something unusual. Warmth. Flow. He did it again the next day. And the next, on the 5th morning, Dennis opened his eyes before his alarm. He felt a pressure, a pulse, a strength he hadn't felt in over a decade. He looked down. And there it was, full, alive, morning wood like he used to get in his 40s. He didn't cry because of the erection. He cried because it proved he wasn't finished. It wasn't about sex. It was about life. Power. Hope. The cold hadn't fixed everything. But it had done something no pill ever had. It gave him proof that his body could still work. That he wasn't broken, just neglected. And here's the thing. Dennis didn't share this to brag. He shared it so you'd know what's possible. That if you're sitting there thinking your best days are behind you, he thought that too. But he was wrong. Now think about your own life. Have you already accepted that part of yourself is gone? Or are you willing to test a theory? 30 seconds. That's all it takes, not because it's easy, but because it's the first hard thing you'll do for yourself in a long time. Maybe that's why you're still watching. Maybe part of you still believes there's more inside you. If Dennis could feel alive again, so can you. Try it once. Tell no one. Let the results speak. And if something stirs inside you, remember that moment. It means your story isn't over. It's just waking up. You've probably noticed something odd. When your energy dropped, when mornings felt weaker, when confidence faded. No one gave you real answers, just more prescriptions, more pills, more silence. Why is that? Because there's no profit in natural methods. No patent on a faucet. No monthly refill for lifestyle change. That's why you don't hear about simple routines like this. Big companies can't sell willpower in a bottle. They can't put discipline on a shelf, and they certainly don't benefit when you take control of your health without needing their solutions. But here's what makes this different. Cold exposure. Even just a minute or two can activate real physical responses. It's been studied in relation to blood flow, circulation, inflammation, and even mood. It's not a miracle cure, but it's a signal to your body that says, wake up, stay strong, keep working. And it's not just about physiology. It's about mindset. Because the first time you step into cold water, your brain will scream, get out. But if you stay, even for 30 seconds, something shifts. You reclaim control. You prove to yourself that you're not fragile. You're still adaptable. Still powerful. That shift doesn't cost a dime. You already have everything you need. Your own courage, your own skin, and a faucet. And here's something personal. Think back 20 or 30 years. You probably used to push yourself more. Took risks. Stepped out of your comfort zone. You weren't afraid to sweat, to struggle, to fight. That part of you isn't gone. It's just been asleep. And every time you do something small but difficult, like a quick burst of cold in the shower, you remind your body and brain, I'm still here. I'm still in this fight. That's the part no one talks about, because that kind of strength can't be sold. It has to be earned. So if this message resonates with you, if you've ever felt forgotten, ignored, or underestimated, then maybe it's time to challenge the silence. Not with anger. Not with pills, but with action. Try the routine. Track your progress. Write down how you feel. Then look in the mirror after a week and ask yourself, am I waking up stronger? Because the truth is, you don't need permission to feel better. You just need the decision to start, and that decision can start today. Let's break this down. Because if you've made it this far, you don't just want information. You want action, so here's how to actually do it. Start with a warm shower like you normally would. Nothing fancy, just your usual routine. But at the very end, right before you step out, turn the water to cold. Not lukewarm, cold. Now, don't aim for your chest or arms. That's what most people get wrong. Direct the cold water to your thighs, hips, and lower abdomen. That's where most of the blood vessels related to lower body circulation are concentrated. And that's where this ritual does its real work. Start with 30 seconds. That's it, you'll want to pull away. You'll think, this is stupid. Your brain will try to talk you out of it. But stay, breathe deeply, slow, through the nose. That breathing activates nitric oxide production, the molecule your blood vessels need to expand. Once you finish your 30 seconds, step out, towel off, and immediately massage your thighs gently with your hands. It's not just comfort. It encourages fresh blood to rush in faster, enhancing the rebound effect of vasodilation. Do this every day for 1 week. By day 3 or 4, you may notice something unexpected. Your energy first thing in the morning, better clarity, maybe even that subtle pulse returning down below. By day 7, your body will begin adapting. You'll find that what felt unbearable now feels invigorating. If you're ready for an upgrade, try contrast showers. That means going from warm to cold. Then back to warm. Do 60 seconds warm, 30 seconds cold. Repeat that 2 or 3 rounds. The temperature switch challenges your blood vessels to stay flexible. Like giving your circulatory system a workout, you don't need a gym for this. You don't need a supplement shelf. You just need consistency. Now, here's something personal. Think about your daily habits. How many of them actually make you stronger? How many are automatic? And how many are intentional? This isn't about comfort. It's about reclaiming control, one decision at a time. And when you finish your cold session tomorrow, and you dry off and breathe deep, I want you to ask yourself one question. What else am I capable of that I've forgotten? Because maybe this isn't just about blood flow. Maybe it's about identity, discipline, strength. The kind of strength that doesn't come from a pill, but from choice. If this made sense to you, and if you're ready to try it, write it down. Day 1, 30 seconds, I stayed. Because 1 month from now, that might be the note that changed your life. If you really want to take this to the next level, add these 2 habits. Simple, free, just a few minutes a day. First, leg raises before the shower. For a workout, not for ABUs. For blood flow. Lie on your back, legs straight. Raise them slowly to 90 degrees, then lower. Repeat for 30 seconds. That's it. What does this do? It activates the muscles around your pelvis and hips, areas directly connected to circulation in your lower body. The movement wakes up stagnant blood. It primes your vascular system for what's coming next. Especially when followed by a cold shower, it works like a 1-2 punch. And second, sunlight. Afternoon sun. 10 minutes. No sunglasses. No glass window. Just you and the real light. Why? Because sunlight hits your skin and signals your brain to increase testosterone production. Not a myth, this is science. Your body uses light to regulate hormone output, especially the ones that support energy, drive, and yes, performance. In one European study, men exposed to daily sunlight for just a week showed measurable increases in testosterone and mood. Think of it like fuel. Your morning routine triggers blood flow. Your afternoon sun charges your hormones. Together, they rebuild what time tried to take. No medications. No waiting rooms. Just natural systems doing what they were built to do. Now, take a moment and imagine your routine. Just 7 days from now, you wake up and feel something's different. There's power in your steps, warmth in your lower body. Maybe even something stirring you haven't felt in a while. You stretch, smile, step outside. The sun hits your face. And for the first time in a long time, you don't feel 85, you don't feel broken. You feel ready. That's what this is about. Not being 25 again, but never letting yourself fade away quietly. Never accepting that softness, weakness, or silence is just the way it has to be. You can fight back with a towel, a glass of water, a little light, and your own 2 legs. You already have everything you need. So stack the habits. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. And let your body surprise you, because age doesn't stop a man. Only neglect does. And your story's not over. Here's the truth no one tells you. The more you ignore your body's signals, the harder it becomes to come back. When your blood vessels stay tight for too long, they don't just slow down, they begin to harden. The medical term is endothelial dysfunction, and it doesn't just affect intimacy. It affects your heart, your brain, your energy, even your memory. Because when your blood can't move freely, nothing else works properly. Low blood flow equals low oxygen equals low power equals low identity. This is why so many men over 60 feel like a shadow of who they were, not because they got older, but because they were never shown how to fight back. You might have felt it already. That quiet decline. The extra time it takes to get out of bed, the way your thoughts feel slower. The way you avoid looking at yourself too long in the mirror. And maybe the worst part? You think it's normal. You think it's just aging. But what if it's not? What if it's neglect? What if the only reason your fire dimmed is because you stopped feeding it? Because here's what happens when you do nothing. The body slows, the spark fades. And one day, without warning, it's just gone. Not in a dramatic moment, not in a movie scene, but quietly, a little more every day. Until the man in the mirror doesn't feel like you anymore. But it doesn't have to go that way. Because now you know. Now you know there's something simple, a switch you can flip, that starts to bring it all back. And now that you know, the only mistake is doing nothing. You've worked too hard, you've sacrificed too much, you've come too far to fade away in silence. So don't ignore this, because the risk isn't just losing function. It's losing who you are. You've worked your whole life, for your family, for your home, for your responsibilities. You showed up even when you were exhausted. You kept going, even when your body whispered, slow down. And somewhere along the way, you forgot to fight for yourself. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about feeling alive. It's about waking up, not just with energy, but with purpose. With strength in your legs, with fire in your chest. And with power where you thought it was gone. One cold rinse, one deep breath, one quiet decision to stop fading and start rising. Not because it's easy, but because you've done harder things your entire life. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect health. You just need one moment where you say, I'm not done yet, so tomorrow morning. Don't reach for excuses. Reach for the faucet. Stand in that water. And stand for yourself. Because cold may wake your skin, but what it really wakes is the man underneath it all. If this spoke to you, even a little, smash the like button. If you're ready to take your power back, comment below, I'm reclaiming my fire. And subscribe, because no one else is fighting for men like this. But here, you're not forgotten. Here, you rise again.